Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. Guys, in this video I want to ask you a question. Something that I have done self-inventory on many times, and especially in the past year because of so many life changes. From moving to divorce, to health issues, to business, to traveling the country, to you name it. And that question is where will you be? What will you be doing when the seven trumpets start one day? Now, I asked myself that question over many times over the past years, but especially within this year. And I think it's a valid question that we all need to ask ourselves, because what if, and this is all just what ifs, okay, but it's a valid question, especially on Sabbath, going to see somebody today and visit with them, fellowship, and I was just thinking to myself, if the hammer drops today, am I ready? Now, I have my bag with me. You know, I try to keep water, heat, shelter, food, you know, enough to get me a couple days through anymore. I keep my go bag. I've actually turned my business bag into a go bag / business / I can drop this off in my car if I pull in at the airport or traveling and I know this won't fly with me, blah, blah, blah. You know, I've tried to adjust to that lifestyle, especially traveling all the time, working for people. And so, when you ask yourself that question, the next thing that you ask yourself, it's two-part. The first thing is, where am I at? What am I going to be doing when it hits? And the second most valid question that you asked is, am I ready, spiritually and physically? And what prompted this video really is, me and my mom was having a discussion the other day, and she said, you know, I really hope that Messiah comes back, takes us before things get out of hand. I'm like, Mom, you know, that's, and I'm not bashing my mom. I mean, that was a comment she made. She just really hoped that. And I'm like, I'm right there with you. You know, the bad thing is, as we all know, the more we look at Scripture, the stuff is going to hit the fan in a big way, in the biggest way ever, before Messiah returns and the Father's kingdom set up here on earth. And so, when I think on that, the more and more I look at it, I'm like, am I ready? And of course the answer is no. And I think that even in that day, when that great earthquake takes place and we see a third of the stars fall right out of the firmament dome in the heavens above to earth below, I think even in that day I'm going to be saying to myself, I'm not ready. I think, however, I will have a peace of mind, because me and my sons discussed this, and I think that, you know, if you strive to have the Spirit in your life, and that guides your walk, I think that the more that you plug the truths of Scripture into your heart where no man can remove it, I think it's going to give you a peace of mind when the time comes. Because, guys, I don't know if you've seen that Hallelujah Scripture's got the little pocket edition now, but I keep this on me in my 511 tactical pants and on the job site with me and everything. Go to. I love that Bible. But you know, the more you have the Scripture wrote on your heart, the better off you'll be, because material things will come and go. But the preparation here goes a long way, because I don't want to sound cocky and arrogant, but you know, when I do off-grid construction for people, I like to think that I have become a master at my trade. Now, I'm still learning every day. I'm still learning till the day I die. But I feel like I have mastered my trade. And the ability to create things out of just random materials here and there, and then you build a water system that recirculates, or you build solar, or you build whatever. You know, that's great to be able to have that knowledge base to do that. But at the same time, if you're not spiritually prepared for what's to come, all the material things in the world ain't going to mean a hill of beans. And I think that we all need to take a step back and ask ourselves, because I do inventory just about every day anymore. And I ask myself, what am I going to do in the day that it happens? Am I going to freak out? Am I going to be like, well, and so it begins? And that's, you know, they've got this meme that it's got the pagan holiday starting up, and it's got like a guy in an elf suit, and then it has a guy up here in like a knight's armor or whatever getting ready for battle, and it's like there's two types of people in the holidays, like, woo, it's holiday season, and the other one's like, and so it begins. And I think that a lot of people down bottom, if you made that meme now, it would be like, oh my goodness. You know, there's going to be the people that freak out, and then there's going to be the people that have been preparing for years and have been rooted in the Word that's going to be like, not excited. Well, I wouldn't say excited, but kind of like nervous excitement. It's going to be like, and so it begins. And I think that I'll be one of those people. And the reason I say nervous excitement is just because, like, I was talking to a dear friend the other day that I love with all my heart, and it's like, we were talking about that's like, the government's bought like 10,000 guillotines. I mean, like, people be beheaded for the witness. I mean, you know, there's going to be persecution. Oh my gosh. Guys, I don't mean to be negative in this video. I just think about all that is to come. I mean, you look at all the insanity going on out there right now, and then you think about all that's to come. And it really prompts one to consider, are you ready? And when the time comes, have you done what you need to be ready and prepared? Because I was talking to a Hebrew Israelite this morning on the phone, and before I left out, and they're starting their journey into the Word. They're starting to get back to their roots. They're starting to walk in the path, and praise the Most High Yah for that. I didn't have hardly anybody there for me when I started my walk. And I'm so grateful that there's so many people out there being a voice in the wilderness to people now, you know, because that wasn't around in 2009 hardly. Okay, I'm tell you, that just was not much of a voice there. Even World's Last Chance was just getting started up in and around that time pretty much. And like .com, if you haven't checked that out. And people in the years ahead, I think if there's ever a time to wake up, it is now. Because, like, if you have not took a step back and be like, have I exited Babylon? Have I really legitimately exited Babylon? You ask yourself the quick questions. Is my church teaching the doctrines, teachings, and commandments of the Most High Yah and His Son? Or I'm being taught, the teachings, doctrines, and commandments of my church and of men? If that answer is not the first one, then the exit ramp should come up immediate. I mean, you should walk out the door of that place tonight without hesitation. Because the church house is becoming watered down and so judgmental and etc. that it is literally creeped into becoming Babylon. And then the moment you exit Babylon, the next question you ask is, where I'm living, is it safe? Who I'm surrounding myself with. You know, your family will be the first to stab you in the back. I hate to say this, folks, but if there's anything that Luke's learned in 32 years, it is that family will be the first to stab you in the back. Your friends, sometimes will be right behind that, co-workers, and then your job, acquaintances, and it just kind of tends to go downhill. But your family, if you look in Scripture, family betrayed, some of the worst betrayals you'll ever find in the pages of Scripture were done by family. Alright? So, just never forget that, alright? So, keep your enemies close, but your family closer. Okay? Because, just giving you a heads up. But when you start doing inventory and you start going down the list, am I prepared for what is to come? Okay? Because now the question is, you've already answered, where am I going to be when the day starts, the Most High, the kickoff of the great day of Yah, and the 7 trumpets of Revelation start, where am I going to be? You know, if you have a pretty good idea of that, then the next question is, you know, being prepared for it. And I don't mean to ramble on, I'm just trying to catalog back to what I'm saying here, is then you start doing inventory. Am I in the wrong, you know, is my place of worship, those that I fellowship with, is it in the right place? Is my family and my relationships with my friends and family in the right place? Kind of goes back to what I said in this, one of the last videos a week or two ago I made about relationships in the last generation. Also before that about choosing a spouse. You know, just kind of building on the videos that I do anymore. And so then you backlog off that. Am I working in the right place? Is my job respecting me to keep Sabbath? Am I going to have to take a microchip later down the road in order to buy and sell to work here? I mean, some companies are doing that, folks. Welcome to the last days, you know. So, and it's here in America already too. So, I mean, like when you start cataloging all these things, the question then arises, okay, what do I need to do to exit this? You know, what do I need to do to have my place out in the woods, away from society, away from everything? When the time comes, if I need to disappear and become a ghost, can I do it? Ghosting is something that literally needs to be on every believer's mind. And I'm not talking about practicing paganism or witchcraft or, I think the Hebrew words for it, ovoth, yedium. I'm not talking about practicing witchcraft. I'm talking about the fact that you exit society. And I've been considering upon that a lot, that, you know, when the time comes, a man needs, you know, a man honestly needs a couple places, if he could, to go to. because the time's going to come when you just need to exit society, and in a big way. I mean, like if society could think you died, you have achieved a great accomplishment, because they won't be looking for you when the stuff hits the fan. Furthermore, if you can create your own power, you can create your own, you can harvest your own water, you can create your own food, you can create your own sustainability, you have your shelter, you have renewable resources. I mean, like, you are in a good spot to thrive. You know, your land taxes are paid up, things like that. You know, you have the ability to be mobile. That's why I think the tiny house community has the best thing ever, because, like, if you have your mobile water, power, shelter, all you're having to worry about is harvesting food and being able to be mobile with your home. I mean, like, these things are the things you need to consider, because I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the one thing you can, you know, there comes a point where things happen in life you can't go back. Somebody dies. You can't go back. You cannot tell that person, I loved you, I love you, I miss you, when they're gone. They're gone. You can't go back after you've had a divorce and be like, well, you know, I'm so sorry for all that happened. What happened, happened. You can't go back after you've lost your job, after not being a good employee, and be like, oh man, if you don't care, you care to give me my job back. It just don't work that way. And I said all that to say this, is when the trumpets start, there's no going back going, man, I wished I'd have prepared for that, or man, I wished I hadn't believed in the pre-tribulation rapture, because, man, now everything's hit the fan. I don't have no food, water, shelter, and what am I going to do? Oh, my gosh, I'll have to take the mark. I'm telling you, you might laugh at me right now, but these are the things that you need to think of. And I think it's why at 32, I am just totally chill anymore. Like, I'm just like, you know, whatever comes, it comes. And it's not because that I've got everything together. I'm rebuilding my life from the bottom up. Now, I guess it's just because that I've finally adopted the mindset. You can only go so far, and then it's in the Most High God's hands from there. Now, that's not saying just sit at your house and expect everything to be all fine. There is effort put in. You know, Joseph put granaries in Egypt. Because of it, Egypt and all the house of Israel was saved. You know, Noah built an ark. Because of it, his family was saved. The wicked were taken, he was left. The wicked were taken, he was left. I said that twice, because if you look in Scripture, you know, one's grinding at the mill and working, one's taken, one's left, one's sleeping in the bed, one's taken, one's left. The righteous will inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. I cannot overly stress that. So, you know, if you don't want to be one of the wicked, you don't want to be one of them taken from the earth and destroyed one day, in the day of, especially in the day of wrath, not only in the second part of the second death, after the final judgment, you know, you might want to take a step back and make some preparation for that day. And I can't be your mama or your daddy and hold your hand and be like, well, you should do this, you should do that. You know, you got to pray the Most High God lead you by His Spirit to do it, open up doors for you. I mean, you know, I am coming to that conclusion. I'll say this in the end of this video, is the longer I live, the more I'm getting that mindset that I think that if Isaiah the prophet was alive, Yeshayahu, I think I would have been like really good friends with that man, because I keep thinking about that vision of him in the temple, where that he was envisioning and he seen the messengers of the Most High Yah, and one went forward with the writer's inkhorn. And, you know, before that happened, though, he said to the messenger, and forgive me if I misquote this, but he said that, you know, I'm unclean, and my lips are unclean, and I dwell among unclean people, and just something to that effect. And I'm just like, that man acknowledged he was a sinner. He was a prophet, a Navi. You know, the Most High spoke to him. And yet he still acknowledged he was a sinner and just unworthy. But in a humbleness, you know. And I'm like, I feel the same way, my man. I'm telling y'all, I win the Nobel Peace Prize. I could never sin the rest of my life. I could do nothing but righteous acts to everybody that come and go in my life from this day forward. And if you said right now, Luke, how do you judge yourself? I'd be like, I can't let me in. And I think that when you conclude to that mindset, it keeps you on a straight path, people. And it also puts in perspective for you the intense, intimate, deep desire to survive that which is to come. Because I want to stand worthy before Messiah one day, even though I know I personally in my heart feel I'm never going to be justified. Plus, I'm a Gentile of the nations that have converted, and I've sinned a lot since my conversion. I've sinned before. And I just feel this deep-rooted sense of You've got to do everything you can to survive this thing. Those that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And I'm not saying those in the grave that's already died ain't gonna be saved. That's all I'm saying. I mean, like, I'm just saying there's a song. It's called "I'm Born for This." I'll try to drop a link for it in video description below. But it's a great song, and I think about it. And I'm like, I believe every one of us that was born right now, we were born for the time such as this. This is our generation, you know, because the skill sets, the things I know, it is just like everything I've learned. And everything I do in business, it's like it's just for this time in such we live, because it's the end days. And I'm so grateful for the lives I've been able to help and touch, and see them be able to be to the point where they're going to be able to help themselves when the great day of wrath comes. And I pray, you pray for me that I may be accounted worthy to survive those things, that which is to come. And also, I pray for you right now, Father, y'all, those that are watching this video, please be with them. And have a pure heart and desire to see you. And that's all I can say on the matter. Is just, guys, think deeply in the days and especially the years ahead while time is still good. Well, there's still an opportunity to make preparation. Is where are you going to be the day when the trumpets start? And are you ready? That's two questions that you need to be doing inventory and self-check on every day. Because like I said, I do it every day too. And so, guys, until we see you again here, Seven Trumpets Prepper channel, if you're not a subscriber, make sure to subscribe. And until we see you again here on the channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua.